Today I'll take you through the selective test question. Let's go. So what would the exam format be? There will be 5 sections to this test. The first 2 sections are reading and mathematics. Reading, you'll get 35 minutes. Mathematics, you get 30 minutes. Then you have a short break for 20 minutes. After that, you'll have verbal and quantitative. Each will be 30 minutes. There will be multiple choice questions. You will have a 5-minute break before you get to do the writing task. So I will take you through the sample question for the reading section, and there will be 3 questions. The first question type is where they give you a quote and you have to figure out the key idea or theme that quote is really trying to highlight. Question 1 relates to the following quote. It is not knowledge, it is grasped but not retained. This is by Dante from the Divine Comedy. What does this quote emphasize? Is it A, understanding, B, thoroughness, C, decisiveness, or D, memory? My tip is read the quote slowly. My second tip is to rephrase the quote. For example, if knowledge is grasped but not retained, so it's not taken in, then that means that it is not knowledge. I will go through each option and choose the one that you think makes the most sense. Give it a go. I'll give you a moment. Alright, I hope you chose D, memory. For each question, I will also chat to you about the underlying knowledge and skills being tested here so that you get a general gist of what these questions really trying to test you. The knowledge that you need to possess to answer this question is vocabulary. So you must know what certain words in the options and the quote actually mean to be able to answer this question correctly. For example, if you didn't know what decisiveness means, that could be an issue when you're trying to eliminate the options. The skills that's being tested is your reading comprehension, so how well you are able to understand the sentence and the implied meaning within that sentence, as well as your critical thinking, which is what exactly is the question trying to ask you. The test strategy is to eliminate irrelevant options. Remember the previous one, you might think thoroughness, which means detailed, doesn't have anything to do with the quote, so you could have eliminated and choose between A and D. Most students might choose A because they think knowledge and understanding is related. But if you read the quote very carefully, the quote is not about we need to understand the knowledge that we have. In fact, because of the word not retain, it's more about the memory. Read the question very carefully. The question uses the word emphasizes, which means highlights. The second question has to do with different speakers making a comment on an issue. Question 2 and 3 relates to these 4 comments, which were made in discussion about culturally significant objects that were taken from their original owners and are now in Western museums. The question is, which of the following words in comment 4 most strongly implies a moral judgment? Make a note of the key words in the question. We need to look at comment 4 and choose the word that has the strongest inference that the speaker is providing a very strong judgment on what's right and wrong in relation to these cultural objects. I'll give you a moment to give this a go. Alright, I hope you chose A, plundered. It's useful to eliminate C and D because they're neutral words. You might try to decide between A and B. B is close, but colonizing can be used in a neutral sense as well. The knowledge being tested is your vocabulary skills. So if you didn't know what plundered or colonizing mean, that would make this question hard to answer. Then you need to realize is that certain words have positive or negative connotations. The skills that you're being tested is your reading comprehension as well as your critical thinking skills. This means that you have to have realized that people choose certain words to deliver certain messages. The speaker here has used the word plunder to infer that these original artifacts has been taken away from them. The test strategy is to eliminate neutral words and to read the question carefully. The key words there was most and moral judgment. The third question asks, which of the comments assumes that the objects under discussion belong to all humanity? So we need to find out the speaker that has this point of view. Comment 1, objects in Western museums are now accessible to visitors from around the world. The person who speaks this must believe that these objects should be made available to everyone in the world. It does capture the theme in the question, which is belong to all humanity, but we'll quickly check the other comments to see if there might be a better answer. Comment 2, all the ways in which an object changes hands are valuable parts of history. The person who's speaking values that no matter where these objects belong to originally, it doesn't matter. More emphasizing on the history aspect of it and how you should appreciate it. Comment 3, Western museums have the resources to take care of objects in their collections. This speaker is a bit biased. They are saying that Western museums are more superior when it comes to taking care of these artifacts. Comment 4, all objects in Western museums that were plundered by colonial powers should be returned to their original authors. This is someone who really values the original ownership of these artifacts and have a strong view on this. What do you think is the answer? I hope you got comment 1A. So the knowledge being tested here is realizing that the different speakers have their own point of view, and different speakers comes with assumption, bias, prejudice, and value. And you have to figure out what it is that they are believing to be true in order to make that statement. The skills being tested here is reading comprehension and critical thinking. In terms of test strategy, read a question carefully, eliminate irrelevant options as you're going through them. I will talk to you about the mathematics sections next time. See ya!